morning. Myself Vandana Sharma, Assistant Professor, CDOE, Jaipur National University welcomes you all in the BCA Semester 2. Now we are starting with the JavaScript. In the JavaScript, today we are focusing on if-else conditions. Now let's start with the session. Now in this session, we will be focusing on control structure in JavaScript, if statement, if-else, and the nested if. So let's start now. The JavaScript if-else statement executes a block of statement. Basically, first of all, what does if mean? If statement means we are giving specific criteria, specific condition, and on the basis of that conditions, output will be produced. This is the basic working of if and else. Now if we come on if, else, if, what does the else means? Let's take the example. Yes, what does this if else means? Else means if we have, in every condition we have two parts, true and false. If the condition is true, then first part of the statement will be executed. If the condition is false, then the other part statement will be produced. So else means the otherwise. If my condition is wrong, then which part will be executed? Suppose I am finding out the biggest number out of the two given number. So we can place it like this: if A is greater than B, only two conditions are there, two possibilities are there, whether the A will be bigger, otherwise B. So we will print A, else means print B. So this else is the otherwise part. Else means the false condition, the rest part of the condition will be produced. So what does the if else means in JavaScript? It executes a block of code. A block of code according to the condition will be produced. If the condition is true, when the condition is false, the else block which we have discussed just now, the else block will be executed. If else statement can be produced to control the flow of execution. Flow of execution of the program means in the programming we have three types of programming statements are there: sequential, control based, and the looping. In the sequential based programs, all the statements of the programs are executed step by step in the sequence as they have written in the program. Every part of the statement will be executed. But in the if we are giving a condition, then they have become two blocks, true part and the false part. If the condition is true, then first part will be executed. If the condition is false, then the rest part, another part which is written after the else, will be executed. So in this, control the flow of the execution of the program based on the different condition. What part of statement will be executed, will be printed on the screen, it depends on the different conditions. While writing a program, there may be a situation when you need to adopt one out of given set of the paths. Multiple conditions are given and from the multiple conditions we need to choose one. Suppose we are printing days of week or months in a year, then we will be having multiple options. If user click write to, then February to be printed. If we are working with the days of week, if student is writing, we are giving input to, then Monday, then Tuesday to be printed. So in Monday to Saturday and in January to December, we have multiple options. From the given multiple options, only one particular option to be printed. That can be done with the another kind of statement, that is the switch. Switch can be used to give the multiple options when we have multiple possibilities. So In such cases, you need to use the conditional statements that allow your program to make correct decisions and perform the right actions. JavaScript support conditional statements used to perform different actions based on the different conditions, and that can be done like in other programming languages we use if else. In the same way, here also we will be using if else statements. Now, see. Now you will understand what does the if and else means with the help of this flow chart. Now in this flow chart we have given true part and the else part. How it is done? We give the condition here. Whatever is the condition, if A is greater than B, this is the condition. If the condition is true, then A will be printed. If the condition is false, then B will be printed. So, by depicting this, and then at the end, we will come to the end of the program by closing the body tag. Before that, we need to close the script tag, and then the HTML will be closed. So this is the way how your system works when a condition is given to it, how the flow of the execution will move. If the condition is true, we will go like this, and if the condition is false, then specifically the control will move to the else part. Whatever is written, print A and print B. So in this way, if the condition is A equals to 5 and B equals to 7. Now in this case, A is greater than B, then the condition is not true because A is smaller, then automatically control will come, flow of execution will come to this part and value of B will be printed. So this is the basic concept of programming. Now how you will code it in the JavaScript using the HTML codes and JavaScript codes. Now we will move on to this. Now there are three types of if else. If statement, if the condition in this if there is no else, if marks are greater than or equal to 90, then print a specific message. Very good or superior, any kind of message can be printed. Now in this there is no else, only this condition is there, only a single condition, marks should be more than 90, then this message will be printed. If we give marks other than this specific condition, for that we have no parts, nothing will be executed on the screen. Then we have if and else. In this case, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then you are eligible for voting, else not. Okay. So in this if else, if your age is more 18 or more than 18, this is the operator, relational operator, greater than or equal to. So if your age is greater than or equal to 18, if you are 18 or above 18, you can give the vote, message will be printed and you will be able to enter in the website or in a particular area where the checking is doing, we are doing the checking, and else not message will be printed and you will not be allowed to enter in a specific area or in a specific website. This is the code in the beginning of the program. We are checking the age and then only you will be allowed to enter in the particular part which we are processing. This is the example of else. Now we have nested if. If else means nested if. If within a if. When you have multiple conditions within the conditions, like if marks greater than, or here you have to write down the name of the variable. This marks is a name of variable where the marks has been entered. If marks greater than or equal to 90, then message will be printed. Superb. Else, now again we have condition. If marks greater than or equal to 80, then message will be printed. Good job. Then again we have a condition. If marks are less than 80, then keep going. So here we have three conditions. It can be can be having more conditions in this. If marks are greater than or equal to 70, then 60, then 50, and just below 40, we can print the message, you are fail, please try again. But I have completed it in the three conditions only. So three examples are there, three conditions. If marks are greater than or equal to 90, in this category, marks from 91 to 100 will be processed. If marks are in this range, then this message will be printed. In this 81 to 90, then this message will be printed, and in this less than 80. All the marks below 80, we have written the message, keep going. So this is the example of nested if. Now, what are the syntax and expressions, how it is written there? Now, if statement, fundamental control statement allow you in JavaScript to make decisions and execute statements conditionally. How it is written? We have to if and then the expression. Expression means the condition will be written, and then we will start with the curly brackets, and then statement to be executed if expression is true. We are working with the first example only. In this case, there is no else. And then these curly brackets are closed. These curly brackets shows the scope of the condition. Okay. This shows the scope of the condition, means till where the range where the condition will be applicable. Okay. So, this is the example. Now, one more example we have given. Now, we start with the script. Basic tags are same. HTML, title, head, body, all the tags will be the same. We start with the script tag. Then in the script, you will write the type, text, JavaScript. This you have to mention. Now we have taken with the help of this let keyword. These three which are in the purple color, they are keywords. They are the keywords. So let result. Result will be a variable. We have declared this variable. There is no value right now in this. Another variable we have taken, that is age. Age equals to 20. We have in this statement, we have declared the variable, its name and the value. As we declare and initialize the value in the same sentence, its data type will be automatically assigned to it. Now we will give the condition if age is greater than 18. Okay. Then curly brackets start, result. Result is the variable. Till now here it was empty, no value was there in it. Now we are assigning the value in this. Result equals to qualifies for driving. It is written in the double quotes, semicolon to terminate the statement, and the curly brackets are closed. This is the small example of if statement. Variables condition, then the variable where the message is stored, and now this message will be printed by document.getElementById output. Okay, now in the output we have inner HTML library, there we will store this result. So this result will be printed and script is closed. Now see what will be the, just two things are printing there. One, this answer which we have written, qualities qualifying for the driving, and this is the statement which is given in the p tag after the condition. It will be printed in every program because it is not in any specific condition. It is meant to be printed always wherever it is mentioned, and this statement will be printed according to the age given. Here we have given the age 20. So now see the output. Qualifies for driving because age is 20. Set the variable to a different value and then try. Set the variable to a different value means we can change the value 18, 19, 20, 40 and then you can try what will be the output. Now we have if else. In the if else, how you will do? If and then condition will be given, then first statement to be printed, then else, then the rest part will be printed, and then the curly brackets are there for each and every separate sections. Curly brackets basically defines the area and scope where the values and where the program will be affected. Now we have the example for this also. We will modify this same program with the else now. Age is 15 we have taken now. Age is 15. If age is greater than 18, now we have this section for, this is the true part and this section, this is the false part. So if age is greater than 18 then qualifies for driving. Now else, if user gives some value which is other than this 15 or below 18, then what will be printed? In the previous program for below 18 there were no statement. So this time we have given the statement. If we give the value below 18 then does not qualifying for the driving. False part, this will be printed in the cases when the situation, when the condition will be false. Now again we are storing the value by get element by ID, output, inner element and result. So this result value will be stored and will be printed there, and this is the set the variable to the different value as then try. This will be printed every time. This is the output, does not qualify for driving because this time the value was, age was 15. Now else if means multiple conditions. Now just see the example for else if. There are expressions are given there. This is the first expression. Then what will be the printed? Now with the else if, here we will specify the second condition. If this condition will not be true, the flow of program will come to the second condition. This second condition will be tested. If it is not true, we will come in this condition. If this condition is not true, then we will be coming to this statement, no expression is true. Okay, in this first expression is true. If first is not true, then second, then third. If all these three conditions are false, in that case last statement will be executed. So what will be the flow of this program? First condition will be checked. If that is false, then second will be checked, then third, and then the else part will be executed if all the given conditions are false. And if at the beginning only first condition is true, then these rest part will not be executed and the statement given just after this will be printed. So this can be called as a nested if, because we have if within a if. Within this if we have one more if, and then we have else part. We can have more than multiple ifs can be there. This is the nothing special about this code. It is just a series of if statements where each if is a part of the else clause of the previous statement. In the else of every condition we have one more condition. If this is not going to happen, then maybe this can be happen. If this is not going to happen, maybe another condition can be happen. So this is called else if, nested if. Now we have given this example. There we have taken type text, we have defined one out variable is there, constant output equal to document dot get element by id demo. This value will be transferred to the output variable. Now let book equals to maths. We have taken a value which is stored in the book variable named as a book. Now we will be checking on this variable. If book is equal to, this double equal sign is used for equality checking. And this single is the assignment operator. There can be a difference in this. Single equal sign is the assignment operator and double equal sign is the checking the equality. So, if book is, if the book is history, then history book, this message will be printed. Output, this output library, and in the output library we have taken this function, so value will be stored in this. Else if the book is maths, then this message will be printed. If the book is economics, then this message will be printed. Whatever is to be printed is given in the green letters with the double quotes, and these are in the purple color. They are the keywords, and there we have written the multiple library functions of this. Output dot inner HTML. Unknown book. Okay, if out of these three book any other book is there, then message will be printed unknown book. So we have given these three conditions there. Now see how it works. This is the, now we are discussing about get element by ID. Again and again we are using this function in every coding. Now just read about this function. What does this function mean? So document, this is the basically refers to a web page document object model, okay, which is a structure representing the HTML content of the page. Get element by ID, this is the method. Get element by ID is the method that searches the document for an element with the ID demo. It must be a variable in the code. If it finds an element with an ID, it returns that element. It stores the value. Whatever is given in value is given in front of it. It stores the value in this get the element by ID. It takes the element, accept it, and then we can print it with the help of output dot inner HTML method. Now constant output, what does this constant output? This declare a constant variable named output that will store the reference to the element with the ID demo. So after this line of code runs, the output variable will hold a reference to the HTML element with the ID of the demo, and then you can interact with the element. So it will be, if there is no element, it returns the null and then no value will be printed. So basically get element by ID means getting the element and accepting the value by the given by the user. That value can be printed and then it can be shown on the screen with the help of the output.innerHTML. So this is the output according to the input, because this variable stores maths. So according to this value, condition will be tested and then output will be maths book, because we are storing the maths book in this. Now we have JavaScript switch case. We were discussing that if we have multiple options, so switch is the alternative of if case. If else, we have multiple nested if. So for the multiple nested if, we have a option there which can be used in place of if else if. This switch case is the conditional statement is used to execute different block of code depending upon the value of the expression, basically depending upon the condition, and each expression is the evaluated. If it is matches, then one of the case labels. In this we have, like in the nested if, we have if else, then again else if, else if. We give the conditions with the keyword if. Here we have multiple cases. Suppose we have 10 cases, then you will write case 1, case 2, case 3. So just understand it with the help of example. In this, multiple cases are there, multiple block of statements will be there, and their labeling will be done with the help of cases. Case 1, case 2 and then case 3. Case 1 and this particular block will be printed, then case 2, then that particular block will be printed. So this is the alternative of nested if else. Now see, this is the syntax for the switch case. In the switch, condition will be written with the help of this switch keyword. Within the bracket, we will write the condition, we will start the curly braces to start a block of code, then case 1, then statement, case, then condition 1, then case, then condition 2, then case, then condition 3. It can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can do it for days of week till 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 1, Monday will be printed. Then for 2, Tuesday. And so on. So in this way we can give multiple conditions, and default means if none of the condition is true, then this part of the block will be printed, this particular message will be printed on the screen. Now when we are working with the switch case, then we have two keywords are there, two things are there which is need to be understand and very important. This plays a very important role. Suppose we are working with the nested if and we are using switch statement. We are mentioning the case there. If we are writing case 1, case 2, 3 cases are there, and here I will write some message to be printed after the condition. This, in this way these 3 messages will be printed. Suppose this condition is true, then the statement to be printed this one, and then we you have to write break. Break means program will terminate from here only. It will not go to the rest part of the codes. If case 2 is there, so after the every statement you have to write break. Break means execute the statement given above, and then break means just come out of the loop, exit the loop. So break is basically used for exiting the loop, and default is the keyword used to define the default expression. When any case does not match the condition expression of the switch case element, it executes the default code block. And break, this break statement indicates the end of the particular case. If the break statement were omitted, the interpreter would continue executing each statement in the following cases. If we are not writing break with these statements, then all numbers will be printed. Whether the condition 1 is true, then 1 will be printed, it will go to second will be printed, third will be printed. So break is used to basically come out of the loop after condition is true. If the condition is true, a specific code will be printed, specific output will be printed on the screen, and then break statement exit out of the conditions. So break plays a very important role in this switch. So switch and break works together, and default is there if none of the condition is true. Then what is to be printed, that you can give with the default. So in this way, in this session we have discussed about if, multiple ifs, nested if, and the switch cases. So basically conditional statements we have discussed in this session. So that's all for today. We will continue in the next video with the looping concepts. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.